paabak po, kaya kailangan po. Good morning po sa ating lahat. It's nice to see everyone po na magkakasama ngayon for this activity. For the information of everyone, today we will be having the presentation of the SDO Pampanga's Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. We are all well aware at ang laki po ng naging epekto ng COVID-19 pandemic sa buhay pa lang po ng bawat isa. And makikita din po natin ito napakalaki po ng epekto ng COVID-19 sa hanay po ng edukasyon, which is sa ating pong departamento. Hence the birth ng Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. How we will be able to deliver still yung quality education services sa ating pong mga estudyante, sa ating pong mga learners, and ano po ba ang mga ways forward, how we will be able to move forward dito po sa pandemic na ito. Yan. So today, we will be having that presentation for our division, for the information of everyone po na nandito po ngayon at nanonood din po sa atin. So before we begin po, may I invite everyone to be in the presence of God right now and invoke our Almighty through a prayer, to be led to us by our Chief of the Curriculum Implementation Division, Ma'am Celia Lacanlale. Okay po, so I will be leading all of us in a prayer. Let's bow down our heads and close our eyes and feel the presence of God right now. Heavenly Father, dakila ka po, Ama. Maraming salamat po, Lord, sa araw na ito. Maraming salamat po sa mga taong nandito ngayon, Ama. Thank you, God, for the gift of life, Lord, dahil for almost 2 months, nandito po kami sa pandemic na ito, ibang experience po ito sa bawat isa. But still, God, you are good. Lord, sa mga buhay po namin, kami po ay malakas, kami po ay healthy, kami po ay nandito ngayon, Ama. And God, as we go along po dito sa activity na ito, Lord, we ask for the opening of the hearts, opening of the eyes, Lord, sa mga plano na ililay down po sa amin. Lord, kaya po na yakapin namin, Ama, itong pagbabago na binibigay po sa amin, Lord, ngayong panahon ng pandemya. And God, we hope and pray, Lord, na bigyan mo po kami ng guidance, bigyan mo po kami ng wisdom, ng knowledge, Lord, on how we will be able to deliver, Lord, the quality education service sa aming po mga kabataan. Lord, maraming salamat po sa oras na ito, sa pagkakataon na ito. Punuin mo po ng pagmamahal ang bawat isa, bless in each and everyone, at protektahan mo po ang bawat isa. Maraming salamat po. Itinataas po namin ang lahat sa matamis na pangalan ni Jesus. Amen. Alright. Okay. So, ayan po. So, our presentation of the LCP will be divided into 3 parts po. Ayan. So, makikita niyo po sa ating screen, ayan, kung paano po maipe-present ang ating learning continuity plan. Bigyan ko lang po kayo ng short background. Ano po ba ang Learning Continuity Plan? The Learning Continuity Plan, or the LCP, is our department's or the DepEd's response and our commitment in protecting the health, safety, and well-being of our learners, teachers, and personnel. Education can and must continue, but only under the health protocols set by the Department of Health and the World Health Organization. Ayan. So our LCP presentation will be divided into 3 parts. As you can see in your screen, ayan, first part will be the introduction, process for crafting of the plan, the rationale, goal, and the school's LCP. Next will be the objectives 1 to 4 of the learning continuity plan, followed by the last 5 objectives, objectives 5 to 9 of the LCP. So without any further ado, for our first part, to give us the first part, the introduction process for crafting of our LCP, let's all welcome our Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Zenia G. Mostoles. Ma'am Zen.
This learning continuity plan is crafted based on the national and regional plans, which shall further be contextualized at the school level according to your teachers, school heads, DepEd officials, co-workers in the Department of Education. Good morning. Today, we are formally presenting the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan School Year 2020-2021 for government and private institutions, Schools Division of Pampanga. This document shall guide us towards a common direction as we continue the delivery of basic education service for the young generation of the province of Pampanga. This learning continuity plan was crafted based on the national and regional plans, which shall further be contextualized at the school level according to your peculiar circumstances. And further, your specific actions shall consider the realities faced by our individual learners and teachers. We already have conducted initial surveys as to available resources, technology skills, as well as connectivity realities in the province. From those surveys, you have to move on. Maximize creativity as you strengthen your partnership with your local leaders and stakeholders. Thus, it is expected that by June 22, 2020, you shall have presented your school learning continuity plan to your partners and stakeholders. You are the Department of Education in your communities. Yes, this is not easy, but together we can do it. The entire world experiences a health crisis as a result of COVID-19 pandemic. This has given birth to the new normal life and consequently the new normal education system. This situation challenges the Department of Education, Schools Division of Pampanga to adapt to the new normal education system and to continue the services needed by our clienteles during this emergency. To respond to this challenge, this learning continuity plan has been prepared for the implementation this school year to ensure that education continues during this emergency. This LCP enumerates the objectives, strategies, programs, projects, and activities, and resources with the goal of providing accessible, quality, relevant, and liberating basic education to all Kapampangan learners in both public and private schools. The implementation of the LCP considers, foremost, the safety and health of our learners and teachers, school heads, and all personnel. During this health emergency, SDO Pampanga engages and collaborates with parents, stakeholders, and partners to pool all efforts to carry out the mission and service of education delivery. Our overall goal, SDO Pampanga aims to sustain delivery of quality, accessible, relevant, and liberating basic education services for all school-age Kapampangan learners in the midst of COVID-19 emergency vital learning options. Our objectives to realize this goal will be discussed by our two equally able Assistant Schools Division Superintendents, ASDS Leonardo Canlas and ASDS Rowena Kimbao. Before I end, please join me in this prayer. Lord, doubts and insecurities cut across quarantine areas and geographical boundaries, which unite all of us who experience this biggest crisis in our lives. Strengthen us to rise up and become the light that shines in this darkness. Bless us to stay safe and healthy, and grant the entire world complete and speedy healing and recovery. All this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Co-workers in the Department of Education, dakal pong salamat.
Thank you very much po, Ma'am Zen. Thank you po for giving us the introduction and how our SDO's LCP was crafted, kung paano po ito nagawa, sino po ang mga nag-contribute dito para mabuo po ito. Thank you po, Ma'am. And now we'll proceed po right away on the presentation of our objectives 1 to 4 of the LCP to be given to us by our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am. Ayan. Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Ma'am Rowena Kimbao. Si Ma'am Wayne po. Tama po. Sorry po, I stand corrected, For our objectives 1 to 4 of the Learning Continuity Plan, it will be presented to us by our ASDS Sir Leonardo Canlas. And mauna po pala si Doc Nard. Sorry po.
Okay. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good
Okay
morning
ba?
po, sir. Yes po. We can hear you po.
Tino, okay ba?
Yes po, sir. Clear po yung inyong
All right.
boses.
All right. Good morning again. First, I'd like to commend the leadership of our superintendent, and she really made push on the completion of the learning continuity plan of our division. And I'd like to commend as well the leadership of the SGOD, Chief Arcely Lopez, with Madam Weng as the Assistant Superintendent in charge. They really made the full and well done completion of the learning continuity plan. This was made because there is one thing that we have to firmly consider. There is one singular thing that we have to stand up together and support each other firmly, consistently, and continuously. And that is education cannot be delayed. Even COVID-19 cannot impair us. It cannot impair our commitment to make education possible. And so education must continue, as it was reiterated several times by our Honorable Secretary. Let me start with the objectives pertaining to the preparations of the CID, the Curriculum and Implementation Division. Let me begin with the first objective. Shall we start with the first objective? All right. So the first objective pertains to the readiness of schools and learning centers. So to determine and ensure the readiness of schools and learning centers, personnel and learners on multiple teaching, learning modalities. Next slide, please. And how do we attain that? The modality, the methodologies were presented in previous slides, and all the strategies that were incorporated in the LCP were results of researches, environmental assessment, and consultations. So the first strategy is to conduct the inventory. We update the inventory of ICT resources of schools and learning centers. So that pertains to your capacity as an institution, including our learner centers, in terms of ICT resources. So with that, I believe there was already a survey, and we were able to obtain necessary data to find out the readiness of our schools in terms of ICT. This time, we're talking of ICT not to perform office works, but these are ICT related supports that for learning delivery. Okay, next strategy, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so that I think I mentioned that a while ago. The ICT competencies of our teachers as well um, are also one aspects that we consider. We cannot just simply check on the physical counting of the ICT equipment and other support materials, but rather we have to also make sure that our school heads, our district supervisors, more so our teachers, possess the essential competencies in the management of learning using ICT supported teaching. Eh? So I believe there was also a survey conducted on that, and that's the reason why there will be series of support trainings that shall be undertaken to ensure that our teachers will be ICT ready or capable. Okay, we proceed. Okay, we also, one of our strategies as well is to conduct survey on learners who will enroll on the home's capacity to support learning delivery options. So we call it distance learning, we call it flexible learning options, okay, we call it blended learning because we're trying to come up with, we're considering different modalities in the context of our learners. So you should be able to come up with all these things at your school, at the school level, to ascertain the readiness of schools, eh? The readiness of schools to for learning delivery. Okay, we go, next slide, please. Sige po. Okay, that's the result of the survey. Out of 425 elementary schools, out of 439, 425 only responded. So we're missing 14 schools. And you will notice in the survey, there were 27% learners with internet connectivity at home. And we have 49% learners with laptops, desktop computers, smartphones at home. So what's the meaning of this data? Out of those figures, you will notice that we have 27% with internet connectivity. And a larger number of our students at home have ICT gadgets or equipment. So at the school level, you should be able to identify in each school now that this is a division wide context. But in your school, how many of your children have the internet connectivity and with those equipment, so that you can really determine the full readiness of your school in relation to the context of your children. So as I delivered this presentation, you have to put, you have to contextualize all this data in your own school context. Okay, because what we are presenting to you is the macro data drawn from the very good research conducted by the planning and the ICT, or by the SDO in general as a functional division. So as we deliver, as I said, let me reiterate that you have to think now of your position as a school head. How will I make my school ready? In terms of these facilities, in terms of coming up with the best platform which will suit in the individual context of our learners. This time we will not make a generalized conclusion, but rather we have to deal, we have to treat the individual context of our learners to ascertain the readiness of your school. We proceed. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Objective number 2, we map teaching and learning context based on the results of the division and school surveys. So this pertains to the teaching learning context now. A while ago, we covered the readiness of the school. This time we focus on the teaching and learning context in your own school. Again, let me remind you that we are presenting to you a division-wide result of research, but this time, but as I deliver, as I said, you have your LESF, your Learners Environment Survey form, and from that you can more or less define, concretize the appropriate teaching and learning platform which are completely appropriate in your school. So we map learning context and types of learners. Okay, that was already disclosed by the survey completed. We proceed. Okay, so we also map the barangays where the learners are residing. Okay, in your context now, you have to also consider the residences of your children, of your learners, and also find out other possible learning centers, particularly with our ALS learners, that would help us support the delivery of instruction. It is necessary to find out the residences of teachers as well, so that when you make plans at your school in the school level, you will find out that you will be able to make use of the variable of residence in making decision as to delivery of materials, monitoring of instruction, etc., etc. Okay, we proceed. Okay, so the consolidation of data on the SDO survey at the school and division levels. We continue. There was also researches conducted and studies which will assess the ICT competencies and skills of our teachers and non-teaching personnel, including our family and including our school heads and the family or families of learners. We have to consider our learners' background, our learners, those who will support learning at home. They might opt for ICT or online learning, but we have to consider as well if there are people at home who will support that particular platform. So that is included in the survey of the division. And again, I hope you will be able to draw, you are able to dissect your own school so that you find out the context at home. With this ICT support for learning, are there family members who will support, who will help assist our learners to ensure effective delivery of instruction through online? The equipment may be there, the facilities may be there, but we need people at home. Remember, our platform will be at home. It's learning at home, and the different platforms modalities will be will depend on the context of the learners. So we are focusing our minds now, our attention in understanding the context of our learners at home, at the barangay level, so that we'll be able to identify all the support that will make learning, effective learning possible. We proceed. Okay, so that would also pertain to the result of the findings of the research. Ne? Sige. Objective number 3, this time the learning resources that are being prepared, but not simply learning resources, but they are aligned with the most essential learning competencies which were released by the central office. The central office, for the information to refresh our minds, released the minimum, the essential learning competencies in each learning area per grade level. And all the learning materials that we are preparing, our supervisors now are on the process of editing. They're now on the language editing of the modules and themes that were prepared by teachers and quality assured by our division supervisors. And after completing the quality assurance measures, they shall be uploaded in our portal to ensure access of all access to all our teachers. Please consider as well our DepEd Commons. You have to visit the DepEd Commons because that is the central office portal containing enormous learning materials which could be used by our teachers also. But at our level, as I said, our superintendent, prior to the releasing of directives, the proactive leadership of our superintendent instructed the CID family to prepare the learning materials. And as I said a while ago, we are on the process of quality assuring the first grading period. And we are ensuring that the learning materials are completely aligned with the MEPs released by the central office. So there's a one-to-one in venture actually. We will not be missing a singular learning competency. But we are also exploring into other possible sources so that we make sure that we will be ready by August 24, that they are already distributed in your schools. Okay, we continue. Okay, so that strategy as well is creating or produce additional instructional materials. I mentioned that a while ago that even during the quarantine period, our district division supervisors reach out and mobilize our teachers. And thank you for the support of our district supervisors and school heads, for giving us the best writers. And as I said, we're able to come up with learning materials for our children. Okay, we continue. Okay, then we harvest all available materials and modules, the alternative delivery mode, even with the ALS, then printed and radio, etc., etc. Okay, I mentioned about DepEd Commons. We will also harvest. I'd like you to understand that we are harvesting all possible sources of learning materials so that it will the opening of the August 24 opening of classes will not be a great burden for our teachers. So on the aspects of learning materials, the division office uh, um, made the adequate preparations, and we're ongoing. We're pursuing still with the preparations for the second grading period. So what you will be doing later on at the school level, the school heads, is to ensure that your teachers will be preparing their instructional plans on how it shall be delivered. Okay? So the learning materials are prepared, but the delivery will be the major task of the school, depending again on the platform preferred by our learners based on the per school survey. Okay, so again, it's a per school survey. Dapat alam nyo yung buong yung konteksto sa inyong paaralan. So hindi pwede yung hindi nyo alam ang figures. Figures meaning it's counting the figures, not presenting them in percentages or whatever. It's individual now understanding of the context of learners as well as teachers. Okay, we continue. Okay, so there was already a revisitation of the curriculum because the MELFs were already released. Okay, in your case, as I said, your job as a school head is to make sure that your teachers will be preparing for the delivery of the your major concern is more on learning delivery. Okay, we continue. That's our Libro portal. All our prepared learning materials, modules, SIM, etc., will all be uploaded in our portal. Later on, you will be provided with the proper information, the proper processes on the uploaded and downloading of the learning materials in our portal, in our local portal, which is Libro. We would like it to be more accessible and friendly, of course, for teachers to make sure that they can get an easy availability and access to our portal. So what you probably you can notice now that on the aspect of curriculum, we make sure that we have adequate support in terms of learning materials for our teachers, so that the contextualized learning platform will be more facilitated individually, of course, individually. We continue. The effort of our superintendent is to ensure that we gain the support of the provincial government. We have also requested support from the SEF down. I believe I have already informed the district supervisors about it, but according to based on our recent regional MANCOM, the central office will be releasing the latest guideline on how to prioritize the utilization of the SEF amid the COVID-19 pandemic. So as I have requested to our district supervisors, we set aside the repairs and other budgetary allocation not related to immediate response to COVID needs and challenges. Okay, but at the division level, the superintendent is making effort to to motivate and persuade our local government at the provincial level to support the printing or even procurement of learning materials. Again, for the utilization of our learners. We proceed. We prepare learners as well to acquire and develop the most essential learning competencies for success in the next grade through varied teaching learning modalities based on the context of the learners, the school centers, and the locality. I have emphasized this several times. My school heads, district supervisors, our thinking now will be the very context of our school. We should understand fully the context of our school in terms of our readiness, in terms of our learners, in terms of our teachers. Because the new normal, as I said, emerge or surface new challenges and new norms. And so in addressing this, we have to be more contextualized because we cannot even push on a singular platform for all our learning centers and schools in the division. Because as I said, the thinking now is responding effectively on our own context, in the context of the school, in the context of the learners, and also the barangay. Okay, we continue. So the summer enrichment class was already will be completed, and we prepared a, uh, a, um, a survey as an initial feedback on the conduct of classes during the pandemic. That will help us in our policy formulation after harvesting the results of the research. We continue. Okay. You will, so we go back, there will be distribution, we go back, I think that's number 8, distribute, okay, the printed materials. So the printed materials, learning materials will be distributed to all schools. So the target of our superintendent is before the opening of August 24, the learning materials will be distributed to all schools. Your business now is to plan for the delivery of the learning materials in your own context. Yun ang isipin ninyo to contextualize the LCP of the entire division. We continue. I did not discuss anymore the target date, the time frame. That's only for your own consumption. You take perusal na lang after the presentation. Okay? Then we determine the learning delivery modalities. I think I have mentioned that a while ago. Okay? We continue. Then we also have to consider the risk severity. Please take note of the risk severity of your schools, of your barangay. Include that in your school continuity plan. You have to coordinate well with your municipal IATF find out the level or the degree of severity of your school, so that um, there might be a time may there might be a period that your teachers will be um, uh, required to come to school, given the authority, given the authority of the IATF. uh, that would depend on the result of the on the decision of your municipal IATF, um, as to the safety of our learners and our teachers. But this time, as I said, uh, there is no face-to-face teaching and learning. It's all distance learning. So we're just mentioning the possibility that in the future there might be uh, orders that would you know that may lift the present order or guideline that we are currently adhering. So we have to consider the risk severity of your school. We continue. Okay, so those are the different programs, the blended learning, the modular, yun na lang po sinasabi namin. Then you will notice that we have also radio and television, TV, radio-based instruction. So you will notice that with the programs of the division office, we are considering all possible platforms to ensure that learning will be delivered effectively, depending on the context of our learners, as I said. We continue. Okay, and based on the data that we have as to the enrollment of June 5, I believe these were harvested from the LESF. Out of our 131,667 enrollees, we have 36% who prepared online learning. We have 14,000 plus, or 11%, who prepared television. We have around 4,000 plus, around 4%, radio. We have modular learning, around 51%, which is the highest in percentage, in preference. And we have the combination of face-to-face with other modalities. Okay? So when we say combination of face-to-face, it may be 2 days face-to-face, and the others would be modular learning at home. So it's a face-to-face and with the combination of the previously mentioned modalities. That again would require clearance from the IATF, but based on the survey, we have 26,000 learners plus who are clamoring for that modality. And we have around 1%, more than 1,000, who preferred other modalities. You will notice in the data that our learners have variances of preferences as to learning modalities. And so this will now help us in our decision making. So how many modalities are preferred by our learners? We have online, television, radio, modular, summer combination, and the 1%. With this presentation, we have 5 modalities. So as you would now contextualize this in your own school, I think you have the LESF already. Find out now how many of your learners enrolled already would prefer certain modalities, so that you will be able to find out which will be suited in the context of your learners. This time, my dear school heads and district supervisors, as you would monitor all these things, we respond to challenges of the new normal in the context of our own institution, in the context of our own barangay, but that's referring to our learning centers. Okay? Um, we avoid comparing modalities, yeah, because as you would be comparing, you will not be able to respond appropriately and effectively. Okay, we continue. Okay, sige. So it was mentioned a while ago by our superintendent that June 22 will be the submission of your LCP, and you will have to prepare your own school LCP. I've mentioned how you'll be able to contextualize all the macro data and direction at the division level. So you have to now harvest from our direction at the division level into your own context, into your own context. So please, again, uh, do not compare. Huwag mo muna kayong magpakitaan ng inyong kani-kanyang LCP. When you make your own LCP, eh, think of your own school, your own learners, your own teachers, your own barangay. We continue. So we ensure availability of learning resources. I think that was discussed a while ago. There will be deliveries of learning materials as we have targeted it. We continue. Then monitoring and evaluating of schools and learning centers. I believe this is now the function of our district supervisors. Okay? Our district supervisors must make sure that all our directions, all that shall be incorporated in the LCP as a commitment document to the delivery of education amidst the pandemic, it shall now be the job of the supervisor that all those shall be implemented. But as I said, the monitoring is more challenging, presently more challenging, because it will be remote monitoring. It will be remote monitoring. The ICT is coming up with a, uh, a system on how we can do that. We will be developing a monitoring system. Again, not because we do not trust you people, but we have to monitor just to make sure that we are working on a unified direction. And as we unify our direction based on our LCPs, we will be able to strengthen our processes and control measures, and any deviation can be addressed appropriately as a system, as an organization. So our district supervisors now must think now on how you can monitor all that I have discussed in the context of each school. In the context of each school. So the thinking now is not the district, their supervisors. The thinking now is each school shall be monitored based on its context, based on the platforms, based on the challenges that are present in that school, monitor it and use assistance so that what shall be incorporated in the document, in the LCP, will be completely actualized. Okay, we continue. Okay, so I believe I have served the purpose, my purpose of presenting the objectives 1 to 4 under the curriculum and implementation division. And thank you for the clear and unified direction set by our superintendent. Thank you as well for the pristine desire, yeah, our pristine objective and aspiration for our learners. Thank you as well to the support of the SDO with Madam Weng, because all that we have prepared for the last months, even amidst the pandemic, as I said, ECQ and modified quarantine, we were able to um, work on our projects, on our programs. So with that, uh, again, let me remind everyone, the COVID-19 cannot stop us. Okay? It cannot lessen and even impair us in providing the support to all our learners in the division of Pampanga. And we believe that we have the support in the field with our school heads and other stakeholders, especially family and local government, and our district supervisors, who will ensure the proper implementation of all our programs and directions. With that, thank you so much, and good day to everyone.
Thank you very much po, Doc Nards. Ayan, salamat po indeed, no? Hindi po tayo mapipigilan bilang isang One DepEd, One Pampanga to deliver quality education services to our learners. So, yun po yung curriculum side ng ating pong learning continuity plan. And now, let's proceed naman po sa continuation po to give us and present us the objectives 5 to 9. Let us welcome our ASDS, Ma'am Rowena Ikembao. Good morning po, ma'am.
Wala pong sound.
Ay. Ayan po, no? Well, finifix po ang ating audio. I will just give you a rundown po ulit of the 4 objectives given to us by Doc Nards. First, hello po, Ma'am Weng. Ayan, narinig po ba tayo? Sige po. Nag-reboot po si Ma'am. Okay, so I will give you a rundown of the first 4 objectives presented po by Doc Nards. Our objective 1, determine and ensure the readiness of schools and learning centers, personnel and learners on multiple teaching learning modalities. So binigay po ni Doc Nards yan, mga strategies, programs, time frame po natin. And the challenge, challenge po kung gaano ba tayo kahanda to deliver services online. And in terms of, nakita po natin, may survey na ginawa, in terms of the IT equipment or gadgets, na meron po ba ang ating mga estudyante as well as our teachers, ang internet connectivity po ba nila, kamusta? And the readiness in schools, and the readiness of schools and learning centers on multiple teaching learning modalities. And objective number 2, ayan po, to map teaching and learning context based in the results of the division and school surveys. Ayan, I believe may sound na po si Ma'am. Yan, narinig na po natin si Ma'am Weng. Yes po, Ma'am, may sound na. Yes, Ma'am. Okay na po.
Nagpalit ako nagpalit ako ng headset.
Headset po. Okay.
Ganyan talaga pag-time.
Opo, Ma'am. Okay po. So now, let's all welcome po ulit to give us and present us the objectives 5 to 9. Our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Rowena Ikembao. Ma'am Weng?
Atin ko lang yung presentation ko, sandali. Sorry po, live kasi tayo. All right. So as I mentioned po, we'd like to say thank you and congratulations po to all who have been part of the crafting po of our basic education learning continuity plan from the CID, the SGOD, and the OSDS. And of course po, the support and the push came from the leadership of our superintendent. So thank you po, ma'am, for the encouragement, for the push, for the light and the wisdom. Yung energy po ninyo ay nakakahawa. So we appreciate your courage and boldness and your faith and trust in us and our school heads and our teachers that despite this crisis, we can do it. So our basic education learning continuity plan is our commitment to our learners. It's also our commitment to our partners, our stakeholders, and parents that we are ready despite this crisis that we are experiencing. That's why we have finalized our learning continuity plan. And Doc Nards a while ago mentioned also the process that we have undergone. Of course, when you do this also in your school level, the first part would always be revisiting our vision and mission. This is our why. Why are we doing this? Why are we preparing this? And the vision, mission, and core values of DepEd would be our guiding principles. So that would always be the first part of our planning, our strategic directions, our strategic plan, and our learning continuity plan. And then what's also important is environmental scanning. So we did this in the Division of Pampanga before the research conducted po by the central office. We had our own survey through the help of our ITO and through the help of our planning and research of SGOD. So we had environmental scanning. We already have the data on our teachers, on our learners, and even our updated inventory as mentioned by Doc Nards a while back. And then we had our overall goal and we identified our objectives. So for this LCP, we have 9 objectives. The first 4 are from the CID and the last 5 will be from SGOD and OSDS. And then after identifying the objectives, you identify, just like what we did, the strategies, the programs, projects, and activities, the task, and the resources. How much resources do you need? Who are the people? When we say resources, we mean the 3 P's, the people, okay, the facilities, the physical resources, and peso. Okay, how much budget do you need? Okay, we did that per functional division. So there was the CID, the SGOD, and the OSDS supporting the LCP. And then we crafted and finalized the LCP. That's why we are now presenting it to you. And the last part is the communicating the LCP, which you will also do as mentioned by our superintendent. As of June 22, you should have already presented it also to your stakeholders, just like what we're doing today. So this activity is now communicating the plan. So kung napansin nyo kanina si Doc Nards, habang pinipresent niya yung ating LCP, he is also giving you the guidelines on how you will present, how will you prepare your LCP. So ganun din po yung gagawin natin ngayon for Objectives 5 up to Objectives 9. So yung Objective 5 natin, we will heighten. Can we have the presentation? Yun na, sandali po. All right. Let's go back to Objective 5. All right. Go back to the Objective 5. The Objective 5 is heighten the level of competence and commitment. So this is now for you, our dear teachers, our supervisors, our school leaders, no? Capacitating and preparing them for multiple learning delivery modalities, and the supervisors for management and supervision of instruction in the new platform. I'd like to emphasize that it's not only your level of competence that we will be developing or heightening, but it's also your commitment. Kailangan po natin ngayon, hindi lang yung talino natin, hindi lang yung galing natin, pero yung ating puso sa paglilingkod. So, you expect to have trainings not only on skills, but also on values, on our character, and on our commitment. So, let's have the survey on ICT competency, devices, and internet connectivity. We conducted this survey, as mentioned a while back by Doc Nards. Okay, we had our research as to the level of ICT competency, devices, and internet connectivity of our people. So for our school heads, this was also presented to you by Sir John last time. We're thankful that you already have 100% available gadgets, no? 88% internet connectivity at home. Okay. Yung susunod po yung ating skills. Can we have the next slide? Next slide, please. For our school heads. All right. Yung ating pong ICT skills. So this became now the basis for our training. So next week, we will start our training with our school heads. After our school heads, we will have our teachers. Ne? So meron pa po tayong mga no na nag-answer. No? 2% na can start reset and power off the computer, navigate folders. So of our school leaders who really do not have ICT skills. So we have to do something about this because you will be having remote supervision. So we have to have computer and internet skills. Okay. For our next point, for our next slide, please. For our teachers. Okay, ito po yung ICT skills ng ating mga school heads. Okay. So this will be the basis for our future training in terms of developing your ICT skills. Now for our, that's for our school heads. For our teachers, let's have the next slide. Ito rin po yung ating sa mga teachers natin in terms of your internet connectivity, your devices at home, your basic skills in computer, and even basic internet skills. So it's not 100%. That means we have the gap. So therefore, we will do something about this in terms of training. So pumapasok po ito sa ating number 5 objective. All right, next slide. All right, these are now our strategies. So ginawa na po ito ng ating SGOD HRD with the support po of our ITO at ang ating division core team. So meron po tayong tinatawag na DCT. So we utilize the survey results, the ones that I presented a while back, okay, for the preparation of the TNA based on our context of our personnel. So when we say context, we refer to the readiness of our teachers, readiness of our principals. Now you do this also in your school. What we have presented you is the data of the entire division. So you also do this. You might have teachers who are not ready for online learning, okay, or online teaching. So you can assign them to those who will be using modular. So it will now depend on your context, on the readiness of your teachers for online teaching and other modalities. Okay, so after the preparation of the training needs assessment and the training design, okay, meron na po tayong training designs for the non-face-to-face learning delivery options. Okay, including the consideration for various types of learners. So we have now training packages for online and offline platforms prepared by SGOD HRDS. Next po, number 3. All right, this was already implemented and accomplished. Create tech support team. So our DCT are now helping us. Lahat po ng ating mga MANCOM, our activities that require po the use of different platforms po, we are being supported by the division core team, okay, which was created by the HRD section and the ICT unit of our division. So we would like to appreciate them and we'd like to say thank you to them for their help po in terms of the technical aspect of our webinars and other activities for professional development for professional development of our personnel. Okay, number 4 is conduct upskilling and reskilling. So this is part of Sulong Edukalidad. So you expect more trainings, more webinars so that we will have upskilling and reskilling of our teachers, not only the DCT on the ICT system. Okay, so we have already conducted the webinar on ICT for SDO officials and non-teaching personnel. Next week, nakaschedule po yung ating school heads and then ang ating teachers. But we can see po from your posts in your Facebook accounts for your schools and even the ones that you share in the WIHIL as one, SDO Pampanga, that you are already conducting seminars po, inset, and LAC sessions in your school. And we appreciate that, no? So sabi lagi namin, aside from the ones that we give in the division, okay, you also develop your teachers through your LAC sessions. And we appreciate that you have been doing that already, right? So that's capacity building through webinars. Tingnan nyo po yung budget na nilagay namin, and it was already approved by the accountant. So for our teacher applicants, because you do not have load allowance and communication allowance like our principals, because they are receiving 1,000 every month, you will be given 100 pesos load allowance if you are attending the capacity building or webinars of our schools division office. And you can get that from the school MOE. Okay, so take note of that. For our participants who are teachers, okay, and they are included in the memo, okay, and they are identified as participants, they can be given for 100 peso load allowance for their participation in the webinars that are initiated and implemented, conducted by our schools division office. Okay, number 6 is, this is for training for our teachers on the use of LM. So Doc Nards mentioned a while back that we already have the inventory, the list of the different learning materials, even those that are in the Libro portal, in the LR portal, in the DepEd Commons. So there will be training for our teachers on how these are to be used, okay, in their teaching come August. Okay, number 7, we will conduct trainings on non-face-to-face blended learning for administrators and teachers, but not limited to the following. So we will have virtual classroom, video and PowerPoint editing, simulation, creating links, webinars, even online assessment. So assessment is very important. So aside from the lesson delivery, we will also have trainings on online assessment, live streaming, one-on-one coaching, and the others that we deem it the need of our teachers. So that would be for our teachers. You expect that from July 1 up to July 31. Next, number 8. Okay, for our EPSS and PSDSS, school heads and teachers, there will also be training and workshop on the use of Google applications, because you will be using that for monitoring. Okay, and for our teachers, you can also use that in your teaching. So that will be from July 1 to July 31. So these are already planned. The training development plan of the SGOD was already approved by our superintendent. All right. We will also train the EPSS on digitizing big books. So, aside from the EPSS, siguro mga teachers natin who can also assist our EPSS on the digitization of our big books. All right. This is also important. So, aside from the competencies in ICT, aside from the skills in delivering lessons using the different modalities, aside from developing commitment, this is also important. Number 10, conduct psychosocial first aid. We already have a regional memorandum about this. Okay, so the SDO proper first personnel will be given psychosocial first aid, and then we will schedule our school heads and teachers. So our mental health po, our emotional health is very important because we are in a crisis. So we have to make sure po that we are really mentally and emotionally fit, and we will have stress debriefing activities and psychosocial first aid. We will start it with the SDO proper, and then we will schedule the school heads and teachers. Okay, this one, we also encourage school heads and teachers to attend webinars for both professional and personal growth, but you have to be mindful of the DepEd policies on participation in webinars. So kami rin po, in kaming mga officials, aside from the ones that are given by DepEd, we also attend other webinars that we believe would help us. So it's okay po to attend this as long as we be mindful of the policies of DepEd regarding the participation in webinars or regarding the conduct of webinars, because there are some of you already conducting webinars and asking others to register. Okay, so these are helpful. This would be helping our teachers and our school heads, and even us, for our both personal and professional growth. All right, so that capacitate okay, our people in order to be ready for the new this. It's not only capacity building for skills and competencies, but also for commitment. Okay, number 6 is very important also. As I mentioned, when we had our crisis leadership, one of the C's is communication. So objective number 6 is about communication. So we have to maintain clear communication, consultation, and coordination with learners, teachers, parents, community leaders, and other stakeholders. So how did we do it in the Division of Pampanga? You can also do it in your level. So number 1 is the preparation and implementation of the communication plan. So you should also have your own school communication plan. Under the communication plan, we have the dissemination of relevant information to personnel, learners, parents, and stakeholders using varied media platforms. So we'd like to commend our Division Information Officer, Ma'am JB, for using po different platforms in the social media to disseminate information. We have our FB groups, the DepEd Tayo SDO. The We Heal As One is our DepEd group. Our DepEd page, FB page, is the DepEd Tayo SDO Pampanga. We also have our own YouTube channel where we post our videos. Okay, so ano po yung mga information? Can we have the next slide? We have COVID-19 update. So it's not only about DepEd that we are informing you and our stakeholders and our parents and learners. So we have our COVID, the prevention and safety information, about mental health, about physical wellness. Okay, yung mga school opening updates and directions natin. Ang dami-dami pong ginagawang infographics ni Ma'am JB, ni Sir Robin, and the rest of the team ng ating Division Information Office. And we really commend them po for doing their job well. And then, the different multiple learning delivery modalities. So, meron din po tayong mga information on those. Okay, next po. Number 2, this is very important, and share it also with our, nandito po yung ating mga teachers. No? Facilitate processing of relevant news and information to be more responsive to the needs of the schools and other stakeholders, to be more transparent with the media and the public. So we only upload po in our official pages and groups relevant news and information. And kapag po alam natin na fake news siya, dapat tayo po, we have to be critical. You have to look at the source po ng ating mga news and information. So we don't want you po to be the source of fake news. So you only post relevant news and information. So include that in your communication plan. Number 3, okay, you have good ICT teachers who can help you with this one. So you create infographics as communication materials of the SDO. In our division, aside from the infographics that are posted in our pages and in our FB group, in our website, meron po tayong printed na pin-repair po ng CID. And we have allotted 100,000 pesos from the Division MOE for the printing po of our flyers. So aside from the online infographics, we also have printed flyers prepared by the CID to be given po to our parents for them to be oriented on the different learning modalities that we have. Okay, number 4, this is what we're doing today. You also include this in your communication plan, okay, because you're expected to also communicate your school learning continuity plan to your partners. So number 4 is conduct an orientation to SDO personnel, learners, parents, and stakeholders on the implementation of the LCP. Particularly, focus po kayo sa multiple learning delivery modalities kasi yun ang concern ng ating mga parents. So, sa atin po, yung sa ating parents, we already consider the one presented during the OBE and Brigada Eskwela kickoff ceremony. That's why we sent you the link to the YouTube channel so that you can share it with our parents and with our learners, because that is in Kapampangan. So we will not anymore conduct another orientation for our parents and our learners. That would already be our orientation for them. So we ask you po to share with them the link to the YouTube channel where we presented the LCP in Kapampangan. Now, ang inihintay na lang po natin yung sa inyo when you present your own LCP to your stakeholders. So on Friday, tomorrow, June 11, we will present the LCP po of the Schools Division Office to our provincial government, to our governor, to our board members, to our mayors, for them po to support the implementation of our LCP. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5, okay, it was already mentioned a while back that you are required to prepare your own contextualized learning continuity plan. So when we say contextualize, you base it on the context of your learners, on the context of your teachers, and also to communicate it to the stakeholders and partners in the municipality and barangay for support to its implementation. So your time frame is June 15 to June 22. Next week, you start already preparing your LCP so that it would be ready to be communicated by June 22. You involve your school governing council just like what we did. It's not only the schools division office that prepared the LCP, but we had consultation with our stakeholders. When we had the presentation, we even invited the PESPA and the PASPA presidents for you to be represented po in the presentation of our LCP. Okay, so you do consultation during the preparation of your LCP and be ready for the communication. Number 6, this is orientation of the identified knowledge sources in the community. It might be that there are some schools that we have whose community would not really be able to apply online learning, or even would be find it difficult po to apply modified, especially in our upland schools. Nakita natin yung sa channel 2 po, yung interview ni ma'am, yung ating sa Katutubo. So they're really sabi ng parent, nahihirapan po siya, hindi man niya ma-explain sa mga anak niya kung bibigyan natin siya ng mga module kasi hindi siya nag-aral. So what our division is planning po is to hire learning facilitators who will help our teachers in explaining to our parents, okay, the different modules. So this is still a proposal. We will propose it to our provincial government. So ang tawag po natin sa kanila, mga knowledge sources in the community. Examples are our volunteers, parents po, mga literate persons, or even community elders who know their language. Okay, the professionals, yung mga asatids natin para po sa ating mga Muslim learners. And they will act as learning facilitators. They'll be the one to give instructional guidance to learners for upland and coastal schools. That's why yesterday we ask po our supervisors to give us copies, to give us the list po of our schools that are considered to be in upland and coastal. Because titingnan po natin yung kanilang situation, it could be that they would need learning facilitators. So we will have the orientation of these identified knowledge sources or learning facilitators. Number 6 is, okay, so as I already mentioned this a while back, aside from your LCP, we also require to also communication plan, just like what we have in the division of Pampanga. Identify all the platforms that you will be using in order for you to disseminate information about health updates, about safety updates, and about updates from the division, from the DepEd. Okay, so you will also have your own communication plan. And number 7, we included this, our conduct of regular division management committee teleconferences. So we miss our face-to-face and physical meeting, our MANCOM meeting, but we're happy that we have technology, that through technology we're still able to meet. So we will have our regular division MANCOM, and I hope you would look forward to that. It's not only updates that we will be giving you, but we will also sharing with you about leadership, just like what we had last time. Okay, ang trend po ngayon ay resilient leadership, crisis leadership, adaptive leadership. So that's the kind of leaders we need. So for our MANCOM, you expect that aside from the announcements that we will be giving, we will also have this kind of sessions with you. Okay, so that's part of our number 6 objective. There should be a clear communication, consultation, and coordination with our learners, teachers, parents, community leaders, and other stakeholders. Let's proceed to objective number 7. Okay, so this is very important. So mag-aaral yung ating mga anak, pero dapat safe. Ang mga teachers natin magtuturo, ang mga principals natin magli-lead, and our supervisors, but we ensure a healthy, safe, and conducive learning and working environment. So number 7 is on health and safety. Okay, so these were prepared by our school health section through the leadership of our Dr. po, Doc Apostol, and Nurse Pons, and all our nurses, our medical team, and dental team, and even through the coordination of our DRM. So you can also adapt this when you prepare your objective for the healthy, safe, and conducive learning environment and working environment. All right, so number 1, we implement strict adherence or compliance to new normal health standards. So magkakaroon po ng decontamination. Just like what we did last time, you can coordinate with your barangay officials for the disinfection and decontamination. You can even use your MOE for this, because in the division of Pampanga, okay, we had our buildings and our facilities decontaminated po. Okay, so we will share this with you, the presentation and even our LCP in Excel, so that you can also use it po when you prepare your LCP. You can cascade your LCP from the division LCP. So may mga disinfection, tapos po meron nilagay nila dito yung 2 hours daily. So you can adapt this in your own school, because when we open the classes, it could be that you will be reporting to our school. So there should be a safe working environment for you, our dear teachers and our dear principals. Okay, yung number 2 is thermal scanning. You already know this. You already have your thermal scanners. We see you po posting yung mga donations nila on thermal scanners and disinfectants. So you can use your MOE in purchasing this in order to ensure that there is safe environment. Mga hygiene kits to learners, teachers, and non-teaching personnel. So kung may bakuna na, it might be that we will be allowed to have the face-to-face. You can purchase this for our learners. Okay, number 4, conduct vigilant monitoring of learners, teaching, and non-teaching personnel for signs of COVID. So if there are learners or personnel who are considered COVID-19 suspects or confirmed cases, you report them to us in the division office, because we have our regular monitoring po of this. So meron po tayong vigilant monitoring and reporting in the regional office for our cases. As of today po, we're happy to announce that we have 0 cases po for DepEd Pampanga. We used to have, pero nag-recover po yung ating learner at saka yung ating teacher. So we're happy to announce that as of this date, we have 0 cases for DepEd Pampanga. Okay, we also have the conduct of random testing of super spreader among learners, teaching, and non-teaching personnel. Okay, we're coordinating with the partnership for this one. Okay, yung sa division of Pampanga, you can also do this in your school. We have the temporarily closing of the main gate for vehicles, so to facilitate common entry of all personnel. When you visit us here in the division office, you will experience that po, no? May mga may mga policies. For example, this one, all food deliveries and online delivery would wait at the entrance. So you can follow these ones that were prepared by our school health section. Okay, number 7. Can we have number 7? Okay, we have to station a checkpoint for all personnel and visitors. So meron pong digital non-contact. Okay, our school health section is very good po in the preparation of these programs, activities, and tasks. And we appreciate them. Okay, let's have yung mga sanitation of hands, disinfecting mats, standby disposal masks in the clinic. So ito po, we will just share them with you. You can adopt them in your own school po for objective number 7. Okay? Meron din po kaming triage registration desk near entrance. So if you visit our office, they will ask you if you had travels abroad, travels in Manila, and other data that they will be asking you po. They will also get your temperature to check po if you don't have fever. Okay, so may triage this po. So we will just have the next po we will share this with you, yung mga processes po ng ating school health section. Okay, next is letter B on preparedness, risk reduction, and resilience education. Ensure preparedness, risk reduction, and provide resilience education. So meron na po tayong ginawang plan on how we will do this. So there will be information dissemination, capacitate teachers, okay, regarding COVID-19, okay, and when you conduct your lessons, we hope that you can integrate COVID-19 relevant topics po in your lesson. So you don't just teach science, English, math, or any other learning area. We hope you can integrate information and develop among our learners resilience education. Number 2, we will post materials and updated emergency hotlines. Okay, we also would like you to check your wash facilities. Okay, we ask our engineer po of our division to monitor this one and to ask you how are your wash facilities po. Make sure that these are functional. Okay, number 3.1, yung inventory ng ating school clinics, hand washing. You already submitted them po to engineer, and they will be submitted to the central office po. We might have budget for the school clinic and washing and sanitation facilities. So we hope that you have already submitted your inventory on this. So these are very important po facilities in our schools. Next is the repair of existing school clinics and hand washing and sanitation facilities. We hope that you have already given your data to engineer so that they will be included in the list po to be submitted in the central office for funding of the repair. All right, provide communication measures by offering professional services from the school health section and safety officers. Okay, yung sinasabi po namin kanina na psychosocial first aid, so these are included po. Trauma brought about by COVID-19. We'd like to thank po our nurses. Dati nagkaroon po tayo ng mga online consultation, and we had the number of teachers and other personnel who called them, okay, because they were feeling depressed, they were feeling anxious of what is happening, and they were helped po by our nurses. So we will continue that so we can have online debriefing po, stress debriefing. All right, so that is number 7, objective 7. That's on the health and safety of our environment for our teachers, for our principals, and for our stakeholders who will visit our schools. Objective number 8 po is on partnership. So we strengthen partnership and widen linkages with stakeholders in education. This was prepared by the SOCMOB of the SGOD, and we'd like to appreciate Sir Derek and Ma'am Dory and Ma'am Arceli for the PPAs and tasks that are included in the objective 8. So let's have the next slide. The first strategy is we strengthen Adopt a School program implementation. So the ones that you are posting on your Facebook timelines about the different donations that are being given to our school, they are all part of our Adopt a School program. So we have already developed a comprehensive partnership framework, and it was given to our stakeholders. Ano po yung mga inputs ng ating comprehensive partnership framework? You have to identify the resource needs. What are the gaps? Number 2, we adapt to the learning continuity plan. You also identify education partners. So we had this in the division. You can do it in your school. You enumerate all your education partners. Okay, adhere to current DepEd programs and policies. Those are the inputs for the comprehensive framework for partnership. I'd like to share with you the process. Can we go back to that slide? The process. Okay, yung letter P, ayan. Okay, this was prepared by our SOCMOB, and I would like to share it with you. Letter P stands for profiling and assessment of resource needs. So, now that you will be preparing yung LCP, yung AIP ninyo, you identify all your gaps, all your needs for resources. And then you align educational plans with the LCP. Reinforce resource generation, that's for letter R. Letter T is taking on the partnership. You can have your MOA and your MOU with them. That's our process for Adopt a School. Letter N is networking engagement. There are many of you are very good with linkage management, and we commend you for that. Man. Letter R, recognizing partnership. For you to be able to keep your partners and to keep your stakeholders supporting you is to recognize them and to appreciate them. And letter S, you sustain the partnership. If you do that, okay, you are transparent to them, you appreciate them, you will be able to sustain the partnership. So that would be the process in the implementation of your partnership framework. Okay, ano po yung mga outputs natin? Yeah, we will not anymore do this. Okay, let's have the next slide. Okay. So, yung ating pong SOCMOB, aside from you looking for partners and donations for your own school, it's also their mandate and CRA to look for partners for you po. So, when there are prospective partners and donors asking us, we will be able to identify po which schools need those, because we have already identified the schools and the areas of needs of our schools through our Adopt a School program. Let's have number 3. Okay, yun po, identify stakeholders or partners in education. We have in the division office our regular partners. We also have yours. So you should have a list of these partners. Number 4, we already conducted number 4, the virtual kickoff ceremony for Brigada Eskwela and Oplan Balik Eskwela. And for those who weren't able to watch this because of the power interruption in Pelco 2, we require you po to have your teachers, our principals po, our learners, and our parents to watch the video that was uploaded in our YouTube channel. Okay, that was already accomplished, number 4. Number 5, okay, you should also do this. You prepare communication letters or emails addressed to your stakeholders for partnership engagement. So this is also part of our edukalidad, sulong edukalidad. No, we engage our partners for support, but make sure po that you check this, because there might be some who will be using your letterhead or using the name of your school for partnership engagement. Make sure po that you will check this one. Okay, so that's number 5. Next po, may scheduled orientation po ang SOCMOB for our Adopt a School and Brigada Eskwela coordinators. So we don't know po how that is scheduled June to July. So you just wait for the memorandum for this one. Okay, so they will be guiding our ASP and our Brigada Eskwela coordinators. Number 7, coordination with the network of NGOs. Okay, so it's not only our LGU partners, our private individuals and organizations. We also involve our NGOs po in our partnership. Number 8, coordination with the local TV and radio networks. Last Monday, we already met po with the president po or the owner of one local TV for possible partnership po for our TV-based instruction. Okay, so yung sa Guagua, meron silang na-report na po ng ating pre-SDSS na sina Ma'am Lolet at saka si Ma'am Neng, meron pong radyo din ang Guagua, and they're giving po the DepEd po a slot for that, for our radio-based instruction. So meron na po tayong partnership for this local TV and radio networks. Okay, number 9, we enhance physical health of personnel and learners and joining companies to provide free medicines and vitamins. So this is being worked on also by our SOCMOB. So aside from you looking for donors po for your school, we also do that, and we hope that we can engage these partners and provide our schools with the donations po that they will be giving us. And number 10, engagement of LGU officials in the provincial, municipal, and barangay levels in the for support in the implementation of the LCP. We have already engaged our barangay officials. They are helping us with our enrollment. No, they are the ones who give our parents our LESF, and we appreciate them. Okay, so we also engage for our provincial and municipal officials. So tomorrow we will meet them and we will present po the same LCP to them in order to elicit support from them for the implementation of our LCP. So we will be needing the LCP and some LSB documents. We also do this in the municipal level. So kahapon na-report na rin po ng Lubao. We thank our supervisors that they also had their municipal mayor pledge po and commit for the printing of or the reproduction of the self-learning materials for our learners of Lubao. So we appreciate our PSDSS being the co-chair po in the municipal school board, okay, for their initiative po for engaging with our LGU in the municipal level for this, okay? So that's number 10. Ito po yung aming next slide. We have already submitted proposals and we pray that this will be approved. So there was a request by our superintendent from the provincial school board to realign the budget that we have, and we will use them for the first one is the reproduction of self-learning materials for our K-12 learners. That's 53 million. And the proposal was already submitted to our provincial school board. We also proposed the procurement of laptops for our teachers because from our survey, not all our teachers have their laptops. Although the DepEd po allows or authorizes our principals to make to allow po our teachers to bring home the computers as long as they sign po documents from our property custodian and they are held accountable for the computers that they will bring home, okay? We propose an 83 million project po for procurement of laptops to be given to our teachers. Yung pangatlo po, it's still on the process. Yung hiring po of learning facilitators, Ma'am Arcel is preparing the proposal based on the list of schools that we have from the upland and the coastal. So we're looking into helping our teachers, helping you po dear teachers, parang meron kayong mga teacher aid, we will call them learning facilitator kasi mahirap po yung sitwasyon sa upland and coastal. So we are still preparing the proposal for this to be submitted to the provincial school board. So tomorrow, we will present this po to our governor, to our board members, our mayors po, and the board member po who is the president of the ABCs, the Association of Barangay Captains. So we will meet them tomorrow and present this to them. And you pray for us that they will approve po our proposal to them, okay, for the support po of our provincial school board. This is the last one, number 9. So we have already crafted our plan. So it should not just remain a plan or a blueprint, which it should materialize, it should be operationalized, it should be implemented. So number 9 is we will operationalize the LCP through administrative, financial, and logistic support. So ano po yung support ng buong SDO, okay, for the operationalization of our learning continuity plan. Number 1, we did this already. We conducted budget review and analysis and request for budget realignment. Yung ating mga fiscally autonomous schools, you can also do this. There are some funded activities in your work and financial plan, in your AIP that need to be forgone because of the crisis. So you will have savings from this. You also have savings from your utility. No? So we did this. We enumerated the different activities that we will forgo because of the, for example, yung mga trainings natin, we can save from this. May savings tayo sa utility kasi hindi tayo gumagamit po ng kuryente at saka ng tubig. So this will be savings. So you can realign this to other important expenses. For example po, kung nagkulang po yung ating para sa reproduction of materials from the municipal and the provincial level, probably you can use also your MOE. Okay, so ang ginawa po ng Division of Pampanga, we request them po to be realigned to capital outlay, and we hope that this will be approved. All right, let's have the next slide. Ito po yung aming 3.6 million supplies and the 3.4 million that we have from the savings of our activities that were canceled. So we already have the activities that we already canceled, and these are funded. Okay, so we got the total po, it's 3.4 million. All of this po, we will request for the realignment to capital outlay so that we can purchase the required ICT devices, ICT equipment, and even po mga software that we need in our division. So you can do that also in your level, the fiscally autonomous, and even yung mga non-fiscally autonomous, you can adjust your monthly cash program and your annual procurement plan, okay? And it will be allowed po by our accounting. Number 2 is we already did this. There was already a letter and meeting po with our LSB from the municipal and the provincial level for the realignment of CEF. But we are still waiting for the memorandum from the central office po on how we can use for the CEF during this time that we have the new normal of education system. All right, so yun po, it was already mentioned a while back. We already request for realignment of CEF budget for procurement of ICT, equipment, and reproduction of self-learning modules. Procure goods and services that ensure safety and health of SDO personnel. So we use our MOE for that. Meron po kaming mga mask, may mga alcohol, PPE. You can also do that in your school. Okay, we have a guideline for that on procurement po of COVID-19 related goods and services. Nagkaroon din po kami ng disinfection and decontamination of our building. Number 3 po, yung purchase materials, meron po, you will modify also your office outlay, layout, office layout, and yung faculty room. So we needed also materials for that. So you can do that in your school. Kung dikit-dikit po yung ating mga teachers sa kanilang faculty room, itingnan nyo kung paano po natin may ensure that they are safe while they are there. And number 4, okay, this is also to tell you that our services continue in the division of Pampanga despite this crisis. So we have institutionalized online office processes. Of course, we adhere to the ARTA. Okay, we all, meron po tayong tinatawag na mga online processes in all offices, in all units, and we have our special email addresses for client requests. And we will be sharing them with you. Okay, so ito po, these are all DepEd emails. So if you have the following offices units, you use the DepEd email po of that particular office. At meron na rin po silang mga online processes. Meron po kaming tinatawag din na citizens charter for our online services. So merong particular timeline for us to be able to give you the services that you need online po. All right, so these are the different DepEd emails. Next po, I mentioned this already, online platforms for continuity of efficient service. So you can use FB groups, chats, my infographics, and email. You can call us, even SMS. We will give you po the service that you need. So meron tayong tinatawag na online platforms. And number 3, we have already created and we follow the e-Citizens Charter frontline services for frontline services. Okay, number 5, this is for the ICT. We appreciate for our ITO through the help of the DCT, the Division 4 team, okay, for helping us with the technical aspect of the use of the technology po in our services for you. So this is already being done by the ICT, yung ating mga DepEd email accounts. We hope po that 100% of our teachers, our principals, and our supervisors have already their DepEd email accounts, okay? Number 2, technological platforms for monitoring personnel, adapting AWA. We can see that you already use for different apps for monitoring the attendance of our teachers in the field, okay, for the submission of their accomplishment reports. That's very good, but Sir Jan is also looking into the the process po of monitoring, and we can share it with you. He was mentioning that aside from the attendance, the monitoring po of the outputs of our learners will also be included. Even the submission of the MOVs, okay, for the accomplished task or output-based po accomplishments will be monitored using that app. So we're waiting for that, and it will be given to us by our ITO. Okay, number 3, we have online and offline platforms for accessing learning materials. So Sir John is helping our CID that even if you don't have po internet, we can have offline access to our portal, which is the Libro. Okay. Next po, this is also related to our trainings. We will have our ICT competency framework for teachers. So merong beginning, merong pong susunod na level hanggang ma-reach nila yung highest level. So this will be in coordination po with our SGOD HRDS. We hope that we will improve the level of competencies of our teachers. So meron pong pinropose na ICT competency framework ang ating ICT. Okay, next. All right, we are also purchasing the Kotobi Premium license, okay, which we will be using in the development of ebooks. So we have already included this in our budget. Okay. Number 6, technical assistance to the different functional divisions of the SDO. So in this time and age that we are into the digital work, digital age, okay, we appreciate for our ICTU for providing technical assistance in the 3 functional divisions. And of course, we also appreciate for the DCT for helping our ICT. Okay, I think that's the last slide. So we have the first 4 slides, which are for the curriculum implementation, the learning delivery, which were discussed a while back by our ASDS Doc Nards. And the last 5 objectives are from SCOD and OSDS in support po for the operationalization and implementation of the learning continuity plan. Okay, so sana po abe-abe tamo, wala pong kakawanin abe-abe tamo king misyon para king ikasulong ning kalidad ning edukasyon ding anak tamong kapampangan. We can do it. We always tell you po that we should not build the culture of fear, okay? But instead, we have to have the culture of courage and boldness. We can say that we can do it. Agyo tamo po. Ala pong masakit nung abe-abe tamo po. So we will share this also with our partners. So thank you very much. I will share with you our last slide. This is a message from our learners. Okay, I think this is from Nabuklod when we open Nabuklod High School. Sabi daw po kay katamo rin anak tamo, potang gagawan taning LCP tamo, potang tuturuta na po, ambus nga masakit salamat la kay katamo rin kay katang estudyante. Okay, we already have more than 100,000 of learners have enrolled to us. And they are telling us, dakal pong salamat king lugod at malasakit so kaya kami. Whatever we do in the school level, okay, in the division level, for our ALS learners, our SPED learners po, different learners, our iPad learners, our basic education learners, okay, whatever we do po for today that we are planning, we are really doing our best. Okay, it's really for our learners. And our learners say, dakal pong salamat kaya kayo man. So thank you po. And we all join hands in making sure that we implement our learning continuity plan in the Division of Pampanga and in your level, in the school level. So thank you po. Maya paabak ning Diyos kaya katamangan. God bless po.
Thank you very much po, Ma'am Weng. Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Zen, Doc Nards, and Ma'am Weng, for a comprehensive and detailed po na presentation po ng ating learning continuity plan. And with that po, we hope na lahat po tayo from the 3 functional divisions, CID, SGOD, OSDS, down to our schools and learning centers, meron na po tayong direction. May isa po tayong direction. May isa na po tayong perspective regarding how we will be able to deliver yung services po sa ating mga kabataan, sa ating mga estudyante. So maraming salamat po, of course, to our DCT core team, Sir John. Thank you po. Thank you po, Sir John Palyasige. And as we move on na po dun sa latter part po, sa closing prayer po natin, we hope na we have the unity na po. Mag-unite po tayo ngayon. Magkaroon po tayo ng unity as one DepEd, as one Pampanga. We heal as one. And I will leave you po with this verse. Sabi po sa Proverbs 16:9, in their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. So ngayon po, I invite everyone to once again be in the presence of God as we close po itong ating meeting, offer our plan, this learning continuity plan to God, as Ma'am Arcely S. Lopez lead us in a closing prayer. Ma'am Arcely.
Let us all pray and put ourselves in the presence of our Almighty God. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "In everything give thanks, for this is the will of God." Whatever happens, good or bad, happy or sad, we give thanks to the Lord. Today, Lord, we give thanks for our life, for our health. Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity that despite the challenges brought about by the pandemic, brought about by COVID-19, we have the opportunity to meet, to make plans. And we thank you above all for our work and for this opportunity to serve through education. Today, Lord, the SDO Division of Pampanga has just relayed this learning continuity plan, providing direction to all our schools in the entire division on how we deliver education this coming school year to more than 300,000 learners. That we acknowledge, Lord, that apart from you, we can do nothing. Or you say, he proposes, but you disposes. Many are the plans in the man's heart, but always and almost, it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. That is why today, Lord, we acknowledge your divine guidance to all the people of DepEd Pampanga. We acknowledge, Lord, that you give all of us the strength and the wisdom to be able to deliver what is due to our learners. For education, we believe, must continue. It's the birthright of every child, and they need to deliver, and we need to deliver the quality education that they truly deserve. Bless our plans, bless our direction, bless all the people who will carry and accomplish all of these things. Guide us in all our ways, in every step of this plan. The spirit of collaboration, the spirit of unity of purpose with all stakeholders, both internal and external, be upon us to be able to deliver the quality education that our learners truly deserve amidst the challenges of COVID-19. Be our guide, Lord, in these trying times as we face these challenges. May we not be discouraged and disheartened of what we see and what we hear, but give us a spirit of resiliency, of steadfastness, of being positive, and the strength for our learners. May all the hindering factors be our opportunities to see endless possibilities. Bless all our plans, our leaders, both private and public, both in the division and at the school level. Bless also our partners, our teachers, our learners, for the accomplishment of all of these goals. The accomplishment of all these plans will be a result of the collaboration and cooperation of all stakeholders. And then, Lord, continue to protect all of us, that no harm, no devastation will ever come to us and our entire family. Protect us from evil and cover us always with your precious blood. And guide us in the accomplishment of all our plans. May everything that we do bring honor and glory to your name. All this we ask in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Alright? Thank you very much po. Maraming salamat po to our leaders, Ma'am Zenia Mostoles, to our ESDSS, Ma'am Rowena Kiambao, Sir Leonardo Canlas, to our chiefs, Ma'am Sel, to the two Ma'am Sels, to our supervisors, sa lahat po ng mga division personnel po natin, unit heads, to our school heads and teachers na tuned in po sa ating live stream. Maraming salamat po for being with us, for listening po, and being with us po sa execution po ng plan na ito. Thank you very much po. Mabuhay po kayong lahat. God bless po. Mag-ingat po tayo.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Tin.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Ma'am Tin.